I'm Martin Stone, and I've been the recorder of long-distance mountain running records since 1987. Back in the day, I coined the phrase solo unsupported and set some solo unsupported mountain records myself, and since then I've helped my friends to set records on a whole host of mountain running journeys. They include the Bob Graham, the Paddy Buckley Round, Ramsay's Round, the South Wales Traverse, the Lake District 24-hour Fell Record, Scottish 24-hour Munro's Round, the Pennine Way, and the Coast to Coast. And I've watched literally hundreds of folk do amazing things. You could say that James's journey began in 2016, when his friend Joe Mann encouraged him to start going for long runs in the hills. And I didn't hear about James until shortly before he set off on his Winter Steve Parr Round in late February 2021. You see, James has never been particularly interested in taking part in races in the mountains. And so for those 5 years, he traveled very much under the radar, or at least he was under my radar. He loved big days out and he tackled lots of challenges, but with absolutely no training in between. And after a spell in 2019, when nothing seemed to go to plan, he enlisted the services of Paul Tierney to coach him, and this was clearly an important factor in helping him to become the Superman he is today. His work guiding in the mountains in all weathers also helped him to develop the resilience and skills to be comfortable tackling big mountain challenges in extreme weather. And James is not a typical human being, but neither could one describe him as a typical long-distance mountain record breaker. And this is because they threw away the mold when they made James Gibson. In the 36 years since I became the registrar of long-distance mountain records, I've never come across anyone with the same unique set of mountain skills and abilities as James. And you see, it isn't just about the Winter Wainwrights. In this film, you'll see references to James's many qualities. For example, his ability to grind away at a challenge relentlessly, his empathy with his pacers when they have problems, and a kind of serenity that carries him across the fells in the jaws of a winter storm, and his modest and unassuming nature. But quite apart from the Winter Wainwrights, since February 2021, James has completed the most extraordinary and monumental body of work. I'll provide a very brief list of the 11 amazing journeys he's undertaken. So here we go, here's the calendar. February 2021, first and only Steve Parr Round in winter. It's about 1.6 Bob Grahams and mile for mile much tougher than the Bob Graham. December 2021, the first and so far the only Winter Wainwrights Round. 1st of April 2022, less than 4 months after his Winter Wainwrights Round, a spring round of the Wainwrights in 6 days, 5 hours, the second fastest time to date at that date, and it took him 5 hours longer than Sabrina Verjee. 29th of April 22, only 3 weeks after his spring Wainwrights, he completed the Ascent Traverse, solo unsupported, 50 miles and 21,000 feet. James then needed to take a break to do some work. James began his winter trilogy on the 10th of December last year, and during an extraordinary 10-week period through to 25th of February, James made a total of 6 attempts to complete the big 3 rounds, each solo unsupported within one winter season, each within 24 hours. He failed on the Paddy Buckley twice, on the Ramsay Round once, and he completed the Bob Graham first time. The 3 successful attempts resulted in the first completion of all 3 big rounds solo unsupported in a single winter season. And more than that, James became the first person ever to complete the Ramsay Round solo unsupported in winter. All the rounds were completed in true winter conditions. He took 4 weeks off, and on the 1st of April, he completed the 26 Lake, Meres and Waters, and this 100-mile linear route includes about 21,000 feet of climbing. His time, 22 hours 55, the second fastest time ever to the legend that is Joss Naylor. He then focused his attention on Scotland. On the 26th of April, 3 weeks later, he completed the Etive Munro's Round with his mate Jack Oliver, who's here tonight. 75 kilometers, 7,600 meters of ascent, 19 hours 26, another record. James then headed for the Isle of Skye On the 15th of May, 2.5 weeks later, he completed the Trans-Kulin round, 75 kilometers, 9,000 meters of climbing, 70 summits on extremely technical ground, mostly solo. The journey had been attempted but never completed before, and James took 23 hours, 13 minutes. And whilst he was in the area, 16 days later, James completed the fourth and the fastest ever completion of the Kulin Traverse solo in 19 hours 39. It was another 75 kilometers and 7,500 meters of ascent. So James has achieved all this between February 2021 and June of this year. 2 years, 5 months. He's achieved more in 2 years than most of the top long-distance mountain runners could achieve in 2 lifetimes. He is the most prolific long-distance mountain runner of our generation. When you're watching the Winter Wainwrights and are in awe of James's resilience and determination and how easy he makes it look most of the time, be mindful that this was only the second of 11 big mountain journeys that James has completed in just over 2 years. So let's watch the film, and afterwards there'll be a short break of about 10 minutes, then a Q&A session. Thank you very much.